the first ever Tshwane Derby in the Betway Premiership. This is ONSIDE ZA for a watch-along of Supersport United versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Ballers, thank you so much for joining us. Brought to you by Betway, get way more. Joining me on the watch-along today, Tsepi, darling.
Hi, darling. How's it?
Hello, darling. And everybody's favorite super sub.
Angu.
Super sub, Tsepi. It's match day 1 of the Betway Premiership still, technically, till tomorrow night. Around 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night, we will have our first round of fixtures done and out the way. Currently, right now, Kaizer Chiefs are top of the league. As things stand.
Yeah, no. You know why I'm laughing? It's simply because Kaizer Chiefs fans are back. You know, it's so it's so good to see Kaizer Chiefs fans, you know, like being excited about football matches and them being on top of the log and creating all those jokes that, you know, they're tired of carrying the nation now. You know, it's hard being on top, you know, after match day 1, you know. So it was so beautiful to see. And yeah, they are on top of the log. I think they had a stellar game. You know, though I think they were a little bit lucky, but you know what, in a game of football, if you are gallant and you don't convert your chances, you stand to lose the game, you know.
So gallant was not gallant enough.
Nah, they were not, you know, and I think that red card sort of set them off, you know, because after that red card, I mean, even the goal came through that side of Malungwane, you know, so I think that red card just got them on the back foot a bit because, I mean, first half, I mean, Dan's ball was beautiful. They were creating those chances. They were like pressing Kaizer Chiefs, you know. So, yeah, it was a beautiful match, man.
So are we going to congratulate Kaizer Chiefs? Because we've been like showing them flames. So
for
congratulations to Kaizer Chiefs for their
for
very
3
first
points.
win.
For 3 points.
For a convincing win also at that.
I suppose, you know, I'm just happy that...
So, yeah, I've got a couple things to say about the fixture.
Okay.
Let's hear you.
First of all, I'd like to say how much I enjoyed the fixture. It came on straight after the Royal AM Cape Town City fixture.
That was a surprise.
I think it was a surprise in terms of Royal AM's capability to compete on that level with basically a CDC side.
Given the
Let's be honest.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Super sub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's largely a CDC side. So well done to them to perform on that level. But I thought there was a big jump in quality between that fixture and the Gallants versus Kaizer Chiefs fixture. I think Dan's, you could see how hungry he is for football still. You could see him getting, and he was going at it on the sideline.
No, definitely.
Well, I mean, what we expect from him. But he set his team up well. I thought it was a very good performance from both sides, and it's my pick of the fixtures so far in match day 1. I think it was a very good game.
It was a stellar to watch, you know, to see a player like Olam Lambo who was marshalling that midfield, you know, in that game was something beautiful to see, you know. We know he's been very unlucky in the past. I mean, having got left Orlando Pirates, I think he went to Chip at some point and he hasn't really been cracking it, but I think he's finally found a home, and seeing him playing in that manner and the way he was marshalling that midfield, it just goes to show you that, you know what, he's in a happy space, and I think Dance is cooking like a very, very strong team because the way they play, they are enterprising to watch. You know, they are not afraid to attack.
What do we say about Nabi? Is it too early?
What I will say about Nabi is it was a brave move to bring on young Mfundo Vilakazi, and look how that paid off, right? Like you said, the red card helped Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs were lucky. I see the ballers, many ballers commenting the same thing. Yes, Kaizer Chiefs were lucky. But I thought it was a good football game. They weren't lucky to win because they were bad. It was just a very good football match against a very good opponent. It was a great game of football. So sometimes you need a bit of luck to win a good game of football.
Yeah, and I mean, Gallants made mistakes and they capitalized. I mean, you know, that clearance from a goalkeeper was poor, you know, and they capitalized. You know, you can't blame them for that. You know what I mean? In game of football, once an opponent make a mistake, you pounce, you know, and Kaizer Chiefs did exactly that, and Gallants were found wanting, you know. And also, I mean, coming to the Nabi issue, I think more than anything, his style of play is going to really take a bit of time for us to see it translate to the players.
Of
But
course.
more than anything, I think he's building a formidable team.
Yeah.
Those players, you can see there's a sense of unity in that Kaizer Chiefs team.
He's inspired something in them.
Yes,
Hey.
yeah, I mean, from his goalkeeper coach, when they scored, running like 50 meters to just celebrate with the players. It just goes to show you that more than anything, he is building the background, and that's where you start. And obviously, once you've got your background stuff in tune, everything else
Starts to flow,
filters
man.
down to the field of play. And I think we might have a very different Kaizer Chiefs this season.
Yeah, a Kaizer Chiefs that can potentially also fight for the trophy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's early to tell, but I mean,
it's early to
Early
tell.
to
Well, they're
say
fighting for the trophy. They're number one now. Let's give it to them. You know?
I mean, it's only like a couple of days. Everyone relax, but yes, I hear you.
You know what I mean? But there's still other trophies. There's Telkom Knockout that they can contest for.
We have calling.
There's it's just giving out how old I am now.
Yeah.
Still calling it Telkom.
Yeah.
It's calling Knockout that
Yeah.
is still there.
Nedbank Cup.
Nedbank
Nedbank.
Cup. And they need to focus on those. If we can go home with one cup and a good top 6 finish, I think Kaizer Chiefs fans should be happy with that.
Your statement is telling. So he's saying, well, that's a clear indication of where you think they might finish if you're saying a top 6. So you're not even seeing them as a top 3?
I think we spoke about it. I think it was in the previous episode.
Yeah.
I think if they finish in the top 3, it will be a miracle,
Because
And it's possible
Because
because
let's be honest, our 3 favorites for top 3: Sundowns, Pirates, and
Stellies.
Stellies.
yes,
It's difficult to overthrow any one of those.
it's
three.
difficult, and we're not ruling that out because this is Kaizer Chiefs that we're talking about. We know their capabilities. We know that they can go out there and achieve.
Yep.
It's just that the results haven't been coming in the past, but you can't entirely rule that out, But I just feel like if they finish top 3, they would have done exceptionally well. I would say.
Yeah.
Heading into the comments quickly before we get into today's lineups for the Tshwane Derby as kickoff is approaching. Lavido Loca, thanks for joining. His prediction is that either Pretoria side will win this one today.
Interesting.
Funny guy.
Then Gift Real G, Henda, welcome. And David Dunn, hoping for a Sundowns win. Thanks for joining. Lavido Loca asking, why did Gallants sub their first keeper? Well,
It's interesting. Super Sub, do you know what happened?
I'm not too sure why, actually. Hey.
It's very seldom that you find a keeper being subbed.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
It's very seldom.
So that's interesting. In fact, let me just see what I can find. But it would be interesting to know why that was the case. Going into the starting 11, Anto, my brother, you, my darling.
yeah, okay, starting lineups
Yes,
for Sundowns.
Can't call him my brother. He's not used to
For
that.
a second there, like, I don't even know. Like,
Marcus like, who's the
who
brother?
is that? Yeah.
I thought I'm darling.
Darling.
Ronwin Williams back in goal for Sundowns. Lebusa, Kutsia, Kekana, and Morena. We also have Tiwani, Mabue,
Mabue.
Alende, Ribeiro, Reyners, and Shalulile in that starting lineup. Reyners partnering with Shalulile up front with Ribeiro just behind them. It looks like a 3-4-3 formation for Sundowns this evening. Those fullbacks are going to be asked to do a lot of work, but that's how we know Sundowns. The fullbacks do a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got a player like Kutsie who's definitely who can also play in as a defensive midfielder. So I'm expecting him to I'm expecting him to assist Alende when he goes forward, to just track in the middle,
And Ribeiro is going to be expected to be the creative force.
He's definitely
create
going
the
to be.
chances.
He's the one that is going to be expected to be the creativity, to bring the creativity rather, with Zwane out in this game, which is a bit surprising,
Yeah, how many injuries do we have in total? The last I checked, Vala was out, but you're saying Vala's in?
No, Vala is out.
Vala's out.
Yeah.
Lunga Divan is out. Terence Mashekho's out. Maema's out. Lisiba Nku and Matusi Obas are out. So how is that going to affect the squad, would you say? I mean, we know them to still have depth, but is there going to be a bit of a disadvantage on their part?
I don't think so. They've got enough cover in all of those departments. You know, if you look at a player like Terence is out, but Diwani is in there to fill in. You know, you look at a player like Mvala is out. Gutierrez comes in and steps in. You know, and Mudau apparently has been rested because apparently there's a bit of complacency that Coach Mangoba has identified with certain senior players.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I see did not even make the bench and is not injured. Then Tapelo Morena comes to the right back position, which was initially his before Mudau joined Mamelodi Sundowns. So I don't think they're gonna have any problems there. They've got enough depth to cover. And look, I mean, in the midfield as well. I mean, yes, they're gonna miss a player like Swane, but he's on the bench. It can always comes in as a super sub. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Then there's also Modiba. Obviously, we know the effect he can have on a game. He's also on the bench, and obviously Temin Kosi Loch. We know he's a player with quality.
He's back.
Definitely.
So yeah, a lot of quality on that Sundowns bench.
Yeah, and Reynolds gets his debut actually. Or did he get in a Premier? Okay, in a Premier.
Yeah,
in a
like I mean, he was in M28, was he not? Was he?
No,
well,
he did not.
Tell me.
He did not.
Oh, he
feature
played in CAF.
He most probably played in CAF.
Can I double check?
Yeah, you can double check that. Because, geez, man, there were so many games over this weekend. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, there was a lot of football this weekend. Now looking at the Supersport United lineup, we've got Ricardo Goss in goal.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Moby, Rapu on the flanks of the defense.
Yeah,
and
Moby,
then
Nico Moby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sanoka and Hlachwayo in the central defensive pairing there.
That's the back four that they didn't change much. That's the same back four that they went in when they played against Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
And in typical Supersport United fashion, still a 4-4-2. You don't need Coach Gavin Hunt to be there on the bench to have a 4-4-2 from Supersport United. Then we've got Mangezi, Ndlovu, Ocon, and Ayer in the midfield four. And then we also have Pule and
Zukamanje.
There you go, Zukamanje.
Yeah.
On the front line for Supersport United, what are we expecting there, Super Sub?
No, you've got a player like Vincent Pule, you know.
We saw what he did.
Yeah, no. Yep. So he's gonna want to stamp with authority in the offensive side of Supersport. You know, I think he's gonna be a player to watch out. We know what Zukamanje can do, you know.
And Zukamanje technically standing in for my favorite and top goal scorer for many seasons, Grobler.
Yeah.
He's got an ongoing injury. Would you say that his loss or his absence rather is going to be felt, Super Sub?
Definitely.
He's a physically endearing presence.
He is, and also he runs at defense. He makes them work. So I mean, his presence in the attack will be felt. But you know what? This Zukamanje is as equally as capable. You know, you know. So I think my surprise is Sihle Ndlovu. You know, I think he's coming there in the middle. I thought. What's this? Brooklyn had a very good game
Sundowns
against
was the
Orlando
first opportunity
Pirates.
of the game. Sorry, Super Sub. And it's a first corner kick. They could have made a lot more of that chance. That's a very good opportunity for Sundowns as we have kicked off the first Tshwane derby of the Betway Premiership. It is live now, ballers. Of course, you can scan to score with Betway. You'll see there's a QR code on your screen. Scan that QR code now, and Betway will be giving you a chance to win big with their 4 to score freely weekly predictions. Like we say, it is free and you can predict every week. You simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches, and you could win 50,000 Rand. It's as simple as that.
It is easy.
Scan the QR code on the screen and it's free. And there could be some prizes in it for you. So simply send us a screenshot that you have opted into the 4 to score weekly promotion, and you could be in line to win some cool Betway merch as well as a 200 Rand Betway top-up. So just send us those screenshots to the ONSIDE ZA socials, and we'll figure out, we will get better at getting your prizes to you in a more timely manner.
Yes. Do you know how long 200 Rands on a Betway app goes.
Yeah, it's very
It depends if you shots or if you me.
Yeah.
If you shots, 200
shots,
rand gets you halfway through a weekend. If you me, it gets you a few months in.
Yeah, like to me, every weekend is like 10 rands.
Yeah.
20 at most. If I'm feeling lucky, if I'm feeling like I have money that weekend, $50, but it goes a long way. So yeah, I think that's actually quite dope. 200 rands goes a long way, you guys. Actually, please just tell me, Bolas, like with 200 rands, how long does it last you on the app, on the Betway app?
Well, it depends if the Springboks are playing or not, because if the Springboks are playing, that 200 rand becomes more than 200 rand.
Of course.
Almost all the time.
Nothing new.
It's like
There's a lot
bet
of
for me.
ifs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But the if isn't if they're going to win. They're going to win.
Yeah.
The Springboks always do. So that's the one good way of topping up my account. I'll put it there for the Betway backed box. 2.5 minutes into the fixture so far. Besides Sundowns' early chance, Super Sub, any thoughts?
Look, I think Supersport United. Listen to myself.
Super Sub United.
Super Sub United.
Yeah, no, I think Supersport were caught a little bit napping, but obviously Sundowns was just showing their quality and also to show that they had a match over the weekend. You know, Supersport hasn't been playing since they played Orlando Pirates in the MTN quarterfinals. So it was always going to show that, you know what, it takes a little bit time to get into the game, you know, and they almost paid a heavy price there, you know, and Reyners just showing why Mamelodi Sundowns paid top dollar for him with that cross, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be getting paid that amount of money, you need to show it on the field. Something that kind of hurts my feelings. You would remember that Coach Gavin Hunt, got a red card in the previous match in the MTN 8, and he's not there. Coach Andre Arends is the one who's standing in. Do you think that his absence is going to be felt by the players? Because it's a big motivator, on the sidelines. What are your thoughts on this? And let's start with you, Mako.
First of all, I'd like to point out the officiating there. That's one of the best offsides calls I've seen from a linesman in a very long time. So props to the officiators when props are due, because we do like to trash them when they do a bad job. So well done there. Andre Arends, I mean, I feel like there's very little that a manager does once he's there in that dugout anyway.
Okay.
I think that he can make substitutions from afar. He doesn't need to be on the dugout. He can always just
Send a WhatsApp.
Yeah. Send a WhatsApp and be like, this one's not playing. You can see it on TV. Maybe you can see even more on TV than from the sidelines in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it has that much of an impact, but perhaps just the player's sense of not feeling their coach on the side. But this is an experienced side from Supersport United, not a super young team. So I think that
yes, with the Khajayo there, Bomobi. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that there'll be very limited impact for the players for Supersport United. And Andre Arends is an experienced practitioner. I was just talking about him a little earlier on.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, he was very nice to me already. And that goes to show you, if you're a professional footballer, when I was a little kid, you've been in the game a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, because you're like a granddad now. So.
Hey, I'm not Prof. Len Moleko, but I'm nearly there. Super Sub.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. He's there in the stands. He's the one that lined them up. They know what they need to deliver, you know. And obviously, what's the use to have an assistant if you can't step in when you are out, you know? So I think they're going to be fine.
So it's
halftime, he's going to be there in the dressing room for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to give them that pep talk. So I think they're going to be all right.
It's like when Mom Angie took over as president.
Hey, man.
Right, when our president
when Malumi Cyril was away,
when our cupcake was not around, so I guess he's going to be playing in the same capacity.
Yeah.
Who are we saying is going to score the first goal, guys?
Well, it will be a Sundowns player probably, because they've got the best goalkeeper in the world. I don't expect Supersport to score it all today.
Yeah, Morena with that hospital pass. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You know, and it just goes to show you that, you know what is. Mudawa has made that position himself, you know, and his absence, I've seen he's made some few mistakes. Yes, it's the 6th minute, but he has made some few errors, you know.
Yeah.
That pass as well gave the position away so easily. So, yeah, I wonder if that's not going to have an impact on that right side of Mamelodi Sundowns.
I think that's quite a disappointing delivery into that area, because Sundowns held a very high line from a set piece from wide, which I tend not to like from teams, because you're creating a lot of space in between your defensive line and the goalkeeper for your opposition to run into. So a good quality delivery there, and Sundowns could have a really difficult time defending that set piece. So disappointing delivery. I'm sure they'll want to improve on that. Another offside decision in the game. We've had a couple of those, as we mentioned earlier, and Goss with the attempt to play the ball wide down the right flank. I think that there's a lot of joy to be had down the flanks of Sundowns. I've been singing their praises earlier and saying that Supersport United are going to struggle in this game. But the space is there down the flanks, and it's certainly something that Supersport United are looking to exploit from this Sundowns team with that supposed back three that we're seeing there.
What are we saying about the Bisons, you guys? Are we happy about the amount of people that came in to experience also a Tshwane derby and Super Sub Wilewen?
You were talking about the supporters.
Yes, sir.
Look, South Africans take time.
It's a derby, my friend.
It's a derby and it's a midweek fixture.
Yeah.
And usually they take time to get to the stadium. So far the attendance doesn't look so bad, but I think they can do better. I always say Mamelodi Sundowns fans, they need to go out and support their teams, and I think they can do better. I mean, it's Loftus, it's in Pretoria, it's central for everyone, you know. So it's a bit disappointing, but let's see as the game progresses. I mean, I've seen in a game, I think it was first game of the season that I went to Orlando to watch.
Yes, of
Pirates
course.
and Supersport. By the 10th, 15th minute, you would think the stadium is not going to get packed. Just on the 30th minute, approaching halftime, it was all packed up to the rafters, you know. So people South Africans are usually very late to attend games, you know. They're
especially midweek fixtures. Yeah.
Especially midweek fixtures, you know. So let's see how these attendance look, you know. But Sundowns fans, I think they're spoiled. They don't attend as much. I think they go out when it's like CAF, you know, and sometimes when they get like free entry, you know, and that's when they tend to fill up the stadium. But I'm sure they can do it if they want to.
Slick passing from Sundowns, playing out the back through the midfield and through central areas, and then looking to go wide. There's a good opportunity, strike on goal. That looks like it should be a corner kick.
It should be a goal kick because he fetched it from outside.
I think that he pushed it out, but a goal kick seems to have been given.
He got it
once it had passed the line.
Yeah, it had passed the line.
I don't understand why goalkeepers are willing to do that, to be honest, is if it's...
Yeah, because you are...
So
I agree with you. You had just given...
It is outside, so
it's
a goal kick?
Yeah, it could have gone either way. And then
he should have left it. You should know where the goal position is. You should leave it and let it go, because there you're risking the officiators making a decision for a corner kick.
Yeah,
that would be completely unnecessary. And if you're thinking, I'm going to let it go out for a corner kick and then pull it back in, then what's the point? If you let it go over the line and it's within your posts, then you've conceded a goal. So either push it out with confidence or leave it with confidence.
No,
I
definitely.
think that's a worry when you see your goalkeepers not playing with a certain level of confidence. Sundowns look like they're obviously going to be the team that's most happy to keep the ball. We see again Ronwin Williams looking to distribute further up the pitch. But Sundowns Supersport United rather, we know that they are normally very well drilled defensively, Super Sub. And it normally takes a lot to break them down. But we've seen 2 or 3 passes cutting through this defense already so far in the game.
Yeah, definitely. And if you look at the game that they played against Orlando Pirates, they've made some changes in the midfield. You know, I think, is it Grant Mahaman is injured, is out in this game. Mm-hmm. And a player like Sipesihle Ndlovu is brought in his space. Yeah, former Pirates. And he used to be a fullback. And then now he's playing as a... in that central defensive midfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does, you know. And then
Sanoka, he's a new signing from TS Galaxy.
Yes, he's look, he had a good game against Orlando Pirates, and he seems like is doing well in this game as well. So, I mean, the back four, I don't see any issues there. You know, it's the same back four that was there in that
For
match.
MTN, yeah.
You know, and we saw how those guys played. You know, I'm just surprised that the player like what's this boy from that they bought from Cape Umoya, Brooklyn, Pune,
Or Rapu.
No, man. I'll check. Let me check quickly. Brooklyn Puchenpo. He played very well when they were playing against Orlando Pirates.
Okay.
You know, so I'm surprised that. Well, he was subbed, but
oh yes, I see.
I think he had a good game. I'm surprised he did not start today. So maybe Coach Kevin Hunt saw something that he needed to address and maybe try to stop the dominance of Mamelodi Sundowns. Because I see a player like Pule, who's usually play as a left winger, is in the middle now. You know, he's playing as a center forward. So I think it's some of the tactical changes that Kevin Hunt trying to make in order to contain Mamelodi Sundowns to have those ball players in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think Gavin understands he has players who are prepared to run and work hard in this fixture, and that might have been something he was looking at in training during the week, is who he thinks is going to have the legs to run around today, because I think he's aware that Sundowns going to have most of the ball today, and you're going to have the legs to be able to deal with it as they look to cut through with the passing here. Sundowns a little bit stretched at the moment. A shot on target gathered by Ronwin Williams. First shot in anger from Supersport United 13 minutes into the fixture, but it shows that a lot can still happen in this Tshwane derby. I think the creativity of Sundowns, they're showing that all of the naysayers, or those of us who have been saying that we're unsure about Sundowns and their ability to go on and dominate in the same way that they have in the past, I think they're proving to us that they're still Sundowns right now. A lot of space here on the break.
A lot of space. I think they could have done. Yes.
Yeah. A better strike on goal, or if he held his position ever so slightly longer and created more space or created a better opportunity. He did not have Rapu here. He did not have many other options there in the box. I believe it was
Rapu, actually.
My apologies for the pronunciation. And Pule, we saw the only player really backing him up there in that scenario. So a lot of work still to be done for Supersport United in order to exploit that space left by Sundowns as they look to push members up the field and create those opportunities for their attacking players.
Thoughts on Mangezi, the forward for Supersport? A newbie?
Look, right now, I think there isn't much that he has done.
We don't know anything.
You know, and also, look, he's quick. Mangezi is quite quick, you know, and I see what Kevin Grant is trying to do, because, you know, Sundowns like having those fullback going forward. So he's trying to get players that they can match them, you know. I mean, you look at Tsukamanjes on the left, you know, and you've got Mangezi on the right, and you've got Pule. So you don't have like an outright number 9 today playing. You've got Pule there playing as a center forward, you know, somebody that always plays as a winger. So you can see what Kevin is trying to do here. You know, I think he's very pragmatic in his approach. He doesn't want to, you know, like he knew, like what Marco was saying, like that Sundowns is gonna have a lot of the ball position, but when you're playing with a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, you need those players that can run. You know what I mean? Because Sundowns will make you run.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to make you run around all over the pitch, and Gavin will have known that coming into this fixture. And as we see Mangezi come onto our screen now, he has switched from the left flank to be more supportive in that role. So the players certainly being made to work with throwing opportunity as Supersport United grow into this fixture now. Applying a little bit more pressure to that Sundowns defense with a long throw at the near post, flicked on and defended adequately by the Sundowns players. And we know that they will try to play it out of the back here. And that's where it can leave you, is losing possession in your third. And it leads to a potential opportunity with an offside flag. So that is where Supersport United could find some joy in this fixture, is by turning around possession in the final third as Sundowns look to play out of the back. Although we've seen it happen with Manchester United, for example, when they push up and try to close down that final third. you can leave yourself very vulnerable at the back.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Definitely.
have, yes, very, very quickly,
Yep.
Super Sub Moile Prince saying that let's talk about Shalulile. What's wrong with him? Are we seeing anything wrong with him, guys? Or is he just not in his groove yet?
Look, I mean, he's playing in his usual position. It's just the front two, and I think it's very much early to say there's anything wrong. There isn't much chances created. Though Sundowns has dominated in position, there isn't many chances that have been created, and Salulile is that kind of a player that if the ball doesn't get to him, he will always run he will always run back to try and win the ball. So he gives you that as a striker, where
as he should.
Yes, he gives defenders has to work, and then he gives you that. But
he's a Haaland.
Yeah, I think he's more of
Haaland's more of a traditional number 9 who's
waits
just
for the
a
ball.
goal scorer.
Yeah.
Right?
He's a goal scorer. Shalulile tracks back a lot. Locally, he reminds me of Mahupa,
Oh, Makuba Pirates.
Yes, he likes to track back to fight for the ball. I think that's why he paired him with Reyners. They can complement each other because
whereas Reyners will break the line.
Reyners will break the line, and then Shalulile is there, vice versa. So I think it's still very much early to say, but I think we know the quality of Shalulile anyway. So let's see. And what I like about this Supersport, yes, I see why Kevin Hunt has got Sihle Dove in the middle. He's really, really doing well in intercepting some play and also covering those spaces. And he's quite quick, and then he's very sharp on the ball. And the way he's positioning himself, you can really, really see that. There was some proper coaching on how to stop Mamelodi Sundowns in the midfield. You can see he's all over from the left to the right. He's really, really trying to boss that midfield.
So Ronwen Williams, really powerful asset to Sundowns. I hate to keep bringing up the Ballon d'Or nominee, but I just have to. Playing in that sweeper keeper position, it sort of gives you a 11th man on the pitch, rather, in a way, where him being available for those passes is a big part of Sundowns' ability to be able to play it out the back and have those options and spaces for passes to be made, making it so much harder for Supersport United to push. But if anyone sets a foot wrong, the big risk there is that Ronwen Williams is way out of position, giving Supersport United an opportunity to have a go at goal. So they have to be completely sure with their passing, with Ronwen stepping up as that sweeper keeper role. And as we see Sundowns, I don't know how many rondos they're doing there at the camp during the week, but boy, oh boy, they can move the ball around in tight spaces quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, they're very good at that. It almost looked like everybody at Mamelodi Sundowns is capable of that. It's like it's part of the drills
that they DNA.
Look, they really know how to get out of that tight spaces, and look, coming back to Ronwen Williams, I think having like a keeper like him always gives you an advantage. He reads the game very well. He's very sharp with his distribution. So and also, I mean, he's your trusted number 1. You want him for these games, and I think it's an advantage for Sundowns to have him back.
Absolutely, a goalkeeper in the mold of a modern goalkeeper.
Very, very quickly, you guys, I see that ballers are also wanting to know what is happening in the UEFA Champions League. We are still in league phase. Juventus going up against PSV. It is Juventus leading right now. It is 2-0. They are in the 49th minute. The other match is Young Boys against Aston Villa. It is a 2-0 lead for Aston Villa. They are in halftime.
Well done to Villa. Their first outing in the top flight of European football in a long, long time. And look, we know Mr. Good Evening himself is no stranger to success on the continent. So not surprised Villa are doing well. They're a good side. And Juventus now under Thiago Motta have been singing their praises in Serie A.
Must be a free
That's
kick.
nasty.
Yep.
Not a lot of goals in Serie A. Currently, Juventus with a 0-0 draw at the weekend, coming in and scoring 2 goals against PSV. I think it shows the gap in football between the Dutch and the Italian league now currently. Thiago Motta, great manager, his first Champions League appearance as a manager. So looking forward to him achieving some level of success at, I think it's no secret to anyone here that I'm a big Juventus fan.
And Linda's giving Ganacho with the hairstyle.
I'm surprised that was not a yellow card.
I thought it was going. Yeah,
it's a tackle from behind. It's reckless.
It's reckless.
There was no opportunity to really win the ball. Yeah.
He's really lucky to get away without with just a warning in that.
A slap on the wrist, basically.
Yeah, it's basically that.
So a quick look at the stats for this fixture.
Shame. D Dope saying MXM, they're watching Scheme Some here. I can't watch Supersport doing a great job. Oh, shame. I'm sorry.
Oh, look, D Dope. You can
and that's why we're here.
Just listen to us, man.
That's it.
Anyway, D Dope is part of the family. I'm surprised he's even.
Why is he not even here to start with?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As it stands now, Supersport United with 32% of the possession and Mamelodi Sundowns with 68% of the possession as we move into the 22nd minute of the fixture.
No surprises there?
No surprises on the number of passes either. More passes completed by Sundowns by over double to that of Supersport United, although largely unthreatening passes around the back anyway. As this game goes on and the longer it stays at 0-0, the more advantage you would imagine that falls into Sundowns' hands, for example, is that it's very difficult to defend against a team that's got so much possession for so much of the game, to keep your concentration levels, to keep your fitness levels up to scratch. So Supersport United are going to be made to work hard all day, it seems, and I think it plays into Sundowns' hands the longer this stays at 0-0.
No, definitely.
I agree with you.
And I like what Supersport is doing. I mean, Zukamanja and Mangezi, they are all switching up, just trying to like change the game plan a little bit, So
I enjoy the chemistry.
It's interesting to see what's gonna come out of that, I mean, one mistake, Mamelodi Sundowns are gonna be in trouble there at the back, obviously.
Yes, and I mean, we've always said also that possession does not necessarily translate into a goal, So it would be quite interesting to see with the possession that Supersport has, are they going to be able to convert that into a goal? It would be nice to open up the match a bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, Supersport, obviously, they're in the back foot. This is Mamelodi Sundowns. We know their quality, So it's a matter of when those they're gonna get chances. Let's be honest. They're gonna get those chances. It's just a matter of converting once you get those chances. If they don't convert, Mamelodi Sundowns are not. They don't have Messi. Once they get their chances, they're gonna bury them.
They're coming for them.
You guys carry on. I have one technical issue I want to go and try to resolve.
No
Please
problem.
continue.
We shall carry on.
Super Sub. So we have a couple of new signings for Supersport United. I mentioned Magezi is a new one. We also have Sanoka as a new one. I think Rapuo played a bit, I believe 1 if not 3 matches for Supersport United last season. 2022-23 season actually to be, yes, our last season. What would you say is it going to impede them that they are still relatively new, they're still trying to get into the ropes? Or would you say that, it's coming across as a team that is already gelled, that has chemistry?
It's already a team that is gelled.
Ne?
Misalignment. I'll reference to the game that they played against Orlando Pirates. I'm one of the people that believe that Orlando Pirates were very lucky to get away with the win. They took Orlando Pirates all the way to extra time. So that's not a team that, being able to take a team like Orlando Pirates to an extra time, it just shows you that you know what you're doing. They've done their homework. The players understood the coach's assignment. So I think it's a team that is well built, and I think Kevin Hunt, knowing him, he's very good at energy, at bringing these youngsters together and believing in them, and that is the biggest thing that you can do as a manager for your players. And he calls them all my sons,
yes,
and
he's a dad.
He's a dad, to them, and you can see in the way they play that, you wouldn't even say that there's new guys there that have just joined the club, like Brooklyn that I was mentioning earlier.
Yes.
He came in fitting like it's a very one Bochenpool, I think. Or Bochenpool, So I think you can see. I mean, they've been playing well, and you can see even now that it's a team that is very structured. They can absorb the pressure from Mamelodi Sundowns, though they don't have the position. But you can see that when they get the ball, they can string those passes together.
And I'm not seeing nerves.
There's no nerves.
Yeah,
they try to
composure.
get out of the tight spaces as well. Try to create all those opportunities. It's just that they haven't been clear-cut opportunities so far. But I think it's a team that it's well-rounded right now.
I'm excited about that. We've been speaking a lot about Supersport United, Super Sub. We have Mamelodi Sundowns on the pitch, and I feel like sometimes we don't talk about them often enough because we already know what they bring to the table. We are in the 27th minute, so basically 15 minutes give or take remaining in this in the first half. Who would you say for Sundowns as it stands is one that has been working overtime?
I think Allende, and as expected, he's been running around a lot.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're missing that element of a Tembazwane. You know, Marcel Allende and Tembazwane like really does well.
combo.
You know, it's a 27th minute. I think they had one clear cut chance. You know, it just goes to show you that there's a little bit of misalignment, if I can use your words, in Mamelodi Sundowns side. You know, because they haven't really been so clear in terms of attack. You know, yes, they've got the position, but what have they done with the position? Supersport seems to be able to absorb the pressure and defend well, and I think they're missing a Tembazwane here. But to answer your question, I think Marcelo Allende has done so well so far, and Ribeiro has really go. I think speaking of the devil, he's another one. You know, just that first chance in the first minute or second minute from the cross Renas provided. Ribeiro just misstepped a bit, but had he caught that ball first instant, we would be talking a different language. It's not the Mamelodi Sundowns that we are accustomed to. You know, I mean, I think this is probably the first or second goal, shot at goal, you know. Shot on target, rather.
On target, yes.
You know, so I think, there's a little bit of misalignment, like I said.
But let's not forget also
another strike on target from Sundowns.
But let's not forget also man of the match in the previous M10A Supersport United versus Orlando Pirates, Ricardo Goss, obviously on loan from Mamelodi Sundowns. Would that also count as an advantage?
Is he still on loan? I'm surprised because he's playing against them.
Let me see. I could be wrong, but
because when you're on loan, you don't play against your parent club.
But Bule?
Bule's not on loan. He's gone.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, Bule's gone.
Okay. So
but
what do we say?
Pirates don't have those clauses. It's only
the others.
Mamelodi Sundowns that used to have that clause that you don't play against your parent club.
So a good save from Ricardo Goss. There another opportunity for Sundowns as they continue to push, but the delivery is poor. From the left wing. Reyners with a poor cross. I think he'll be as disappointed as anyone with that. Ricardo Goss, good save. It's a goalkeeper's first job.
Yeah.
Modern goalkeeper has a lot of expectations on him, and there's been a couple opportunities to distribute quickly up the field that he has taken. He has looked to take those opportunities. And if he's able to find that range of passing, it could be quite dangerous for Sundowns on the break. It's going to be very important as we see injury now on the pitch for Supersport United. Can't quite see who it is who's gone down. Is it Rapoor? I'll
check. Is it Rapoor?
Yeah, it is Rapoor. Number 19, Rapoor, who's now leaving the pitch to receive some treatment. As per FIFA's rules, if you do go down with an injury that causes you to stop the game, you must leave the field of play, especially that of head injuries. Then you must leave the field of play. But with head injuries, of course, the referee tends to give more leniency to allow you to rejoin the field of play before kick-off starts once again. And sometimes Sundowns are happy to just hoof the ball upfield when it's too dangerous to try play it out the back.
Definitely.
You want to
avoid making those mistakes. You know, how many times have we seen defenders making those mistakes and we're like, why couldn't you just clear the ball?
Out.
Just make sure.
Just make sure that the ball is away from the threats. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's easier that way because they know they can recoup the ball at any given time.
Yeah, La Vida Loca, Supersport keeper doing the things with a flame emoji for sure.
Thanks.
D-Dope saying that Vincent Pule on the starting lineup. That is for sure. And Lavido Loco, thanks for another update. Juventus now 3 goals to the good at home to PSV at the Juventus Stadium. In the second half of the Champions League. More Champions League action to come. Remember to keep your eyes out for all the great promos happening on the Betway app. The most exciting one, and I think this is a good opportunity to switch over to that shots. You'll see there that there is a promo available for Betway. So it's a good opportunity to just showcase that. It is called 4 to Score. And this is how it works. Betway is giving you a chance to win big with their 4 to Score free weekly prediction. Simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches, and you could win 50,000 Rand. It's as simple as that. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter now. Like I said, it is free to play as we get back to the action in Tshwane. For the Tshwane Derby in the Betway Premiership. Betway, get way more.
Yeah, I was just showing Tepe while the Shalolile, how he plays. You know, he always tracks back. And also something that I'm noticing with Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, they are not, especially on the right hand side with Morena, they're not going he's not going forward as much as Mudau usually do. You know, so I'm surprised whether that's the approach that they want to take, or he's just not finding those spaces. But Mudau always gives opposition problem on the flank.
As we step into the 33rd minute or 34th minute of the fixture, rather, Sundowns 0, Supersport United 0. And it's been quite a good fixture, a lot of quality in the football. Is this your pick in terms of sheer quality so far for match day 1 in the Betway Premiership, Super Sub?
Look, the quality is just Mamelodi Sundowns knocking the ball around, which is exciting to see. You know, but I was saying to Tepi earlier that they haven't really done much in terms of clear-cut chances. They haven't really penetrated Supersport in that regard. But look, I mean, they can knock the ball around, make no mistake. They can get out of those tight corners like you were mentioning earlier. We saw Shalolile doing it, you know, which is unheard of from a striker, you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, we're just watching Mamelodi Sundowns playing, knocking the ball around. And I think the longer it takes, Supersport, I think they'll be the more happier in terms of absorbing the pressure and not conceding any goals.
As long as they're able to keep their legs under them with all this passing. But their shape looks very good. They're not overly pressing when the ball is at the back. So no one really looking to go press Ronwen Williams there and leave themselves exposed. So it seems like the fatigue might not be as big of an effect on the Supersport United players as I had suggested earlier. We are now into the 35th minute of the fixture, and you see Sundowns looking to start play from slightly deeper. Terrific crossfield ball there for, I believe, it's
Ribeiro.
Ribeiro.
Yeah.
And good defending once again from Supersport United, and they win another free kick. That's a lot of fouls from Supersport United.
Rabo is working overtime, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ribeiro collecting the ball up the field and then giving away a free kick as he is dispossessed. Heading back to the stats from the fixture, and from what I can see here, I believe that's the 6th foul from Sundowns. I don't think my stat sheet has updated just yet, but I believe that will be the 6th foul for the first half from Sundowns. Are we expecting to see some cards flying later in the derby? It's been fairly tame. We've seen one nasty tackle, but no tempers flaring, no one getting really heated up as a strike in anger soars over Ronwen Williams' net.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna. I think it's a well balanced game in terms of emotions.
Very conservative.
All the players are approaching it very, very professionally. You can see, you know, but Supersport are really doing well in absorbing Mamelodi Sundowns pressure and stopping their attack the moment they get into the final third, which is something that I'm enjoying very much. And I'm also seeing that Keenan, you know, Aye, or I don't know. How do you pronounce that, Tepi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Keenan. I'm gonna call him Keenan. Yeah, Keenan and Jovu. You know, they are keeping their lines. You know, they are making sure that they stay in the middle of the park. You know, so it's really good to see. You know, I think they're quite matching Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of being able to absorb the midfield
Aye,
pressure.
boya.
Okay.
Aye, boya.
Aye. Okay. Beautiful.
Okay, so Allende, you see him obviously playing in one of those pivot roles in the central midfield. He's been falling deeper and deeper back and looking to play that sort of American football quarterback role for Sundowns, looking to distribute some longer balls now and see if they're able to break the Sundowns defensive shape that way. How do you like Allende, and just in terms of his ability to dictate play and the range of passing he has in his locker?
He's a marvel to watch, Marco. And I was saying to Tepe earlier when he had technical glitches that he had to attend to, that a player like Allende is the one that I think so far he's been outstanding. And also, I just think from my personal view that he's missing a player like Zwane, because I think they complement each other very well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zwane will be the first change that Coach Mangoba makes.
Who do you replace? Ribeiro, Shalulile, Reyners?
You sacrifice one between Reyners and Shalulile, and then have a lone striker, and then Zwane plays as your number 10.
Right.
You know, so I think that's gonna happen.
Frees up Ribeiro to also perhaps fall a bit deeper and look to unlock more passes.
What about Supersport United?
Supersport United,
So far
so good. They're absorbing the pressure so well, you know, and they still have some quality outside, you know. So I think it's a matter of more of the same, boys. Just absorb them, intercept them, and don't give them space when they get to the final third. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they still have the likes of Popin Hu, the one that you've been Popin Bull that you were talking about.
Yeah, look, he's quality, but so far Sipesi and Keenan
he's holding it down.
They're holding it down. So it will be interesting to see, you know, who Coach Gavin will bring in, you know.
Or Coach Andre Aronson.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Whoever we deem to be in charge for the night. I don't think Gavin Hunt gives up charge too easily.
One player that Lyle K, you know, he might just, you know, be the first sub that Supersport makes, because, his experience is played for Sundowns. He knows them, you know, so he could be the player that had to come on.
It would be a great combination, considering also, you know, the likes of Goss is also there. He knows. It's got their number.
Moby leaves the field for some medical treatment as well. This is the second time we've seen Supersport United go down to 10 men temporarily just for medical treatment. Although I believe he may have returned to the pitch already.
Yeah, that's what usually happens when you haven't played competitive football in a long time, you know.
Also true.
You know, the last time they kicked the ball was against Orlando Pirates, you know.
Guys, does this feel like a derby?
It does feel like Tshwane Derby.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, it's a Tshwane Derby. You don't, it's
not too much. It's not too much. Yeah.
It's okay. It's there. It does not really have the hype.
No hype,
So it's 217 supporters plus 11 supporters. So you can't expect much.
Look, there's a fair amount of supporters for quite a large stadium, Loftus, but that's a lot of blue seats there.
Yeah, it's a lot of blue seats. At most, and for in a local football context, Marco, a team like Mamelodi Sundowns shouldn't fail to fill their entire lower stands.
51,762 is the capacity.
Yeah, they shouldn't fail to fill their lower stand. You're looking at around maybe 25,000.
Yeah.
Because you must remember, when they're playing at Loftus, the stands behind the post, they are not open for because that's the suits. They are not open for PSL games, you know. So they shouldn't be. They should be able to fill up the lower stands from.
Certainly not the same as you'll see for a Blue Bulls game in that same facility.
Yeah, no.
Oh
definitely.
no, darling. Oh no. Just by the way, we do have we're now Marco. Man U going up against Barnsley. This might not be an important match, but are you excited about this one? We have Everton and Southampton going up against each other as well.
Is that in the league?
No,
No,
League Cup.
EFL.
League
It's a League
Cup.
Cup.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Oh,
It's League Cup.
okay. That's what I'm asking. Like,
Okay,
you
I'll
care?
tell you who cares. Eric Ten Hag, because he reckons of the two
cup is
trophies.
a cup.
A cup
What's
is a
a lie?
cup.
But I think it's a good match to try and play the younger squad. You know what I'm saying? The younger guys that usually would not get the opportunity. You know, that's what the League Cup is there for. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I assume we can go and have a look at the lineups already. Waiting lineup information. So no lineups announced just yet, which is strange as kickoff is 46 minutes away.
Lineup 4?
For the Manchester United versus
There is a
Barnsley
lineup out.
fixture. Do you have a lineup?
Yes, darling. There you go.
Well, there you go. That's all you need to see. Bayende in goal for Manchester United. Anthony and Casemiro start.
Casemiro.
Collier
Remind me
starts
of a
for
joke,
Manchester United. Christian Eriksen, Johnny Evans, Alejandro Garnacho, Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, and Manuel Ugarte.
Where are the young players there?
Look, those are
big game.
senior players except for Collier, but definitely second string players. I mean, it's not the first choice goalkeeper. Anthony hasn't been starting. Garnacho hasn't been starting.
Ugate's new.
Johnny Evans is not first choice at centre back. Neither is Harry Maguire. Marcus Rashford's being given an opportunity to find more goals as he scored on the weekend. So I'm sure that's why he's there.
Down.
Ugarte is being given an opportunity to find some feet in the fixture.
Supersport with a break. Ooh. That's a good one.
Safe hands from Ronwin Williams on the cross. Thank you, darling.
Welcome. Ooh, is that Vungo Manje?
Terence Ukamanja.
Yes.
D-Dope saying that it does feel like a derby. It's just derby light when it comes to Tshwane.
Exactly what I was saying.
And I believe every game is important this season, exciting and useful. Absolutely. I think Sundowns' ability to get points in fixtures is going to be more important than it was last season, because I think there's going to be a couple teams pushing them a little harder, including Pirates and Stellies. So I think it's going to be more important to pick up points when needed. Super sub. Are we surprised to not see a card in the fixture as yet? There's a couple.
That's a card. Again.
Yeah, this should be
Maybe
probably the
this ref,
second cup.
This ref forgot
card.
his cards in the locker room.
Maybe he's colorblind.
Sure.
Because what is this?
There's enough red and yellow on the pitch, just on the shirts. He doesn't need to bring it out on cards.
Man, he should just grab one Mamelodi Sundowns and say it's a yellow card.
With your chest. Because this is not okay.
I like this boy, man.
8 fouls from Sundowns so far in this fixture.
No, Kenan. Aye.
Oh, Aye. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aye. He's quality, man.
Aye boy.
He's quality.
I believe. New signing as well. Aye Boya. Yes, Aye Boya from Sundowns and Niceveld. Yeah. Niceveld, yeah. In Denmark, second division Denmark.
Okay. You can see he's
Nalando.
Yeah, it's good.
You.
Let's see Mangezi what he does.
Yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mangezi has got to bring to the table.
No, that's a poor pass from Rapo.
From Eldorado Park here in Gauteng. So
yeah, he left as a youngster, I think,
to go play his trade and learn the game in Belgium, and he returns to Gauteng to play for one of the best teams on the continent. So all the best to him. Well, am I being too complimentary of Supersport United by calling them one of the best teams on the continent?
They've got 3 league
very
decorated.
decorated.
Let me put you in context, Marco. They've got, since it's called PSL, they've got 3 league trophies, and Orlando Pirates it's got only 4.
Yep, very decorated team, that one.
And that's us not mentioning them winning the MTN 8. Back then it used to be SAA 8. So they are really, You are 100% right, my
Yeah.
friend. I'm just echoing your statement by
They're true
supporting with
force.
facts.
I think they
glad to
just
hear
tend to play underdogs sometimes. They don't like to have their faces in the limelight. I think it just comes from also the coach. He just wants to play under the radar. But, it's a competitor that you don't want to just, take lightly because they will punish you.
Yet another foul as we approach 10 fouls from Sundowns.
And only one minute added.
Apologies, it wasn't a foul, it's a throw in. My apologies. So that's 9 fouls in the first half. This seems to be the last opportunity as we have gone past added time. A long throw in for the front post, flicked on and headed wide. And that should be that for the first half. It is indeed. The referee blows for the first half of the first ever Tshwane derby in the Betway Premiership, brought to you by Betway. Get way more. This is ONSIDE ZA. If you are joining us as a new user, be sure to join the Betway app and use our code ONSIDE ZA as a new user. It really helps us out a lot on the Betway app. Head on through to the Betway app and play your chance for free. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now, with Betway giving you a chance to win big with their 4 to score free weekly prediction game. You can simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches and you could win 50,000 Rand. It's as simple as that. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter now. Get way more with Betway. Super Sub, what do you think of the first half of the Tshwane derby?
I think the first half was more or less what we expected. We expected Mamelodi Sundowns to dominate in position. You could see the way they were displaying themselves, the way they held the position, their transition, the coordination of the players and whatnot. I think they've done well, but a little bit disappointed in the final third with Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they're lacking the creativity of a player like Thembazwane, who always run into those spaces and create chances out of nothing. I think they need him in that field. But overall, I think it was a balanced play in terms of Mamelodi Sundowns. Yes, they managed to have a lot of possession, tried to penetrate. But Supersport, they were just as good in absorbing them,
We did say just before kickoff that Supersport United are a team that's very good at staying set up, a well-drilled defensive team. They keep their shape well, making it very difficult for them to penetrate. It's a good experience side with a good mix of youth that we've not seen from Supersport United in recent seasons. Besides a spattering of some academy players here and there that we've seen in the Supersport United side, it seems like they've gone to the market looking for that youth. Yeah. And it can only bode well for them going forward in this season. And Gavin Hunt might find his team in that unfortunate top 4 position again that he seems to dread so much.
And he's going to have to go
up the season, and he's going to have to fly around the continent again. Although we did speak about this last week, Super Sub. The extra money coming in for teams competing in CAF competition.
Yes.
$50,000 US.
Yeah, I think so for the CAF.
For simply competing in the introductory rounds of the competition, which goes a long way towards those expensive traveling costs around the continent.
Definitely. It's going to ease a lot of, it's gonna reduce pressure from a lot of teams, because
the financial burden.
Yeah, it's gonna reduce. It's a lot. Traveling in Africa, we've had people come here do say that it does get hectic, and obviously you need to be equipped. Sometimes you have to charter, and it can't be easy, So having that financial relief, I think, goes an extra mile for these teams, that are already in financial dire, most of them.
Can I just mention that I'm quite impressed with the back 4 of Supersport United, especially Sanoka and Rapuo. They have been quite instrumental and working very well with Ricardo. I think, as much as Mamelodi Sundowns has not really been that strong when it comes to attack, but once they get that little break, the 2 boys there at the back have been doing a stellar job. A big shout out also to the goalkeeper. Another person that I'm finding quite impressive is Ndlovu from Orlando Pirates, now playing in the midfield. Shout out to him. And also for Mamelodi Sundowns, to me, Alende, a bit aggressive in the beginning, but he's also one player that has been quite instrumental in this match.
So, Super Sub,
Yeah, boo.
I think we've spoken about a young Ayer
Yeah.
and his ability on the ball and how exciting he is as a player.
Yep.
I think the two of them in midfield, both him and
Ndlovu.
Ndlovu,
Yeah.
with Pule seemingly pushing upfield a little bit and assisting the attack, they've done very well at controlling Supersport or Sundowns' ability to break through and create some problems for them. And if you look at that, besides goal attempts, which seem to come later in the half, it doesn't seem that out of favor for Supersport United. A lot of fouls committed from Sundowns, and Supersport United finding themselves offside on many occasions.
Yeah.
So it means that they're trying to be enterprising in their own way as well.
Yeah, definitely. They are trying to, when they get that opportunity, they're trying to push Mamelodi Sundowns. And like you said, 10 fouls. It just goes to show you that Supersport are able to
The pressure.
absorb the pressure,
Yep.
and they're forcing Mamelodi Sundowns to make those fouls, So I think Kevin Hunt right now is telling the boys, guys, more of the same. And then once you get that one opportunity, please be clinical. And then I can tell you now, if Supersport scores first, it's game over for Mamelodi Sundowns, because this 4-3-3 formation of theirs, I don't think it's really yielding any results. You can't dominate so much and have so much position and only have 2 shots on target. That's poor.
Yeah.
Deep Dope responding to Bongane and saying that Supersport shouldn't allow, they call it ZCC, but we know what that means. It's Mamelodi Sundowns to score first on the second half, or else they will be scoring more than 3 goals. Do you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, look, it's gonna be one of those. Whoever scores first, if Sundowns score first, they're gonna force Supersport to open up a little bit, because yes, it's not a cup game, it's a league game. A league is a marathon, but you can't concede and just sit back and say let's absorb the pressure when there's nothing to gain out of it, So they're gonna have to try and open up, by going forward, and that always give an opportunity to the attacking team, or the team that is leading.
And it would be quite interesting to say that Mamelodi Sundowns would have not won their first match of the season, not find themselves at the top of the log standings. As it stands, Polokwane obviously leading with 3 points, then Kaizer Chiefs and then Richards Bay. People that we sometimes don't even anticipate seeing them at the top are leading. So if Sundowns was to lose against Supersport United, it's going to be a new era, really.
Yeah. I was checking some stats, the previous matches, if I can just pull it up, the previous matches have shown that, it's a battle of, it's balance, The previous one ended in 1-1. That was in March, and then in November, Sundowns won that one 2-0. In January, I'm giving you the past 5.
Yes.
Sundowns won it 1-0. Supersport won it 2-1. And then Mamelodi Sundowns won it 2-0. So, and it was on the MTN 8. So in terms of the league, it has been a little bit balanced. Supersport won it once, Mamelodi won it twice, and then the other one draw.
Was a draw. Yeah.
So Sundowns got a little bit of an edge over Supersport, obviously.
Slight edge.
If we look at the past 4 games in the league,
Looking at the substitutes benches, there, Super Sub, Tepi.
Lodge is back.
Timinkosi Lodge. We've got Temba Zwane, who's a very obvious pick. Sundowns have a lot more threat on their bench. If there's someone who's going to look to the bench in order to turn this game around, you've got to imagine that it's going to be Sundowns. They're going to create more threat in the second half if they're going to use the bench to change the game.
No, definitely. I think if I'm Coach Mangoba, like I mentioned earlier.
And Steve.
Oh, yeah, Steve is an assistant. But
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I'll just definitely start with my putting in Zwane. There is no creativity. That's why there is not many shots on target. So you actually need a player that's going to come in and create those chances, you know. I'm afraid I'm going to have to, if I were him, I was going to sacrifice Ashalolile in the second half.
Would we say that now the first half is done? Would we say that Chalulile is not having his best match?
We can
That's
safely
fine.
say no one is actually like in the front. Up front, Reyners hasn't really done well, as well. So I would, based on scoring form, I'll keep Reyners in the pitch because he has proven in the past that he's, well, let me not say he's proven in the past because also Shalule has proven. Let me say rather, he's got, he is more clinical and Shalule has not been scoring many goals. So Reyners has been very, very clinical and is the one that I'll keep in the game and sub Shalulile.
So, first of all, welcome to the studio, Len Moleko. Thank you for joining us. No. There's just a lot to see. Shots, could we have a look at the Betway video? Let's have another look at that because please help me with that one. Lisebenzini.
Lisegazini. It's in the blood, it's in the DNA, no RSA,
guys, I'm
just
sorry.
DNA. Basically, that's what it is.
Lalela, ufuna ukutshela indaba. Uyawazi umlilo ovusa ilangabi lothando olungapheli. You see, it was this game that turned boys into giants. This game was once our proudest weapon of defiance. When our history was still written in black and white, football refused to listen when it was told to keep quiet. We had powerful names that must never grow old. Defenders would stop nonsense, and strikers that would make your blood run cold. Ungabakhohlwa mama, who raised us to be proud and bold, while our fathers went north to feed us from the mines of gold. Through all this time, ibhola likaze lishiye, sikhule nalo, asitukasi. Ezama-90s, zokutshela ngo-Black Jesus. But do they know how everything stopped when Jomo stood on business? Uyabakhumbula Oscar Nosporo, who dazzled before all Loch Nomajoro. Even today's aces inherited the name from those who came before. All of them are legends forevermore. But we can't only look back at what was done before. Just remember, these vast arenas used to be nothing but despair and dust. In football, forever we trust. Usavutha lo mlilo. Buza kwabaziyo, bazokutshela. Lisegazini, forever.
Okay, we're going live. Welcome back, ballers, to our halftime analysis of Sundowns versus Supersport United, the first ever Tshwane derby. Ballers, please tell Len Moleko that he's making Sundowns lose by wearing that shirt. I know you say it all
Then
the
check
time.
the stands there.
You know, I hadn't. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go back to what you said. For the longest time, stop being a Kweti warrior and go to the bloody stadium.
Yeah, no. I was saying earlier to Tepi that Mamelodi Sundowns, yes, Loftus is quite a big stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns cannot fail to fill just the lower stands. Come on now.
It's looking embarrassing.
Yeah. But
Oh,
anyway.
that's a nice jab. Reminding Sundowns that there's a final happening and you ain't in it. Kind of vibes. But like we know Supersport United with the 100
11.
fans.
It's 11.
I can't see.
11.
It's
Yes.
11. You're very kind. 100.
I was like, you gotta be in the mix of things. But for Sundown supporters not to show up, this is a derby for crying out loud.
And the first match.
And it's the first match of the
Yeah.
season of
Check
the
again,
Betway
then. It's
Premiership.
like there's a lot of blue seats there.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue seats. Looking forward to some fixtures as we looking to return. Before the second half, I'd like to just have a look at these. Len Moleko, I'd like your thoughts on tomorrow's fixtures in the Betway Premiership. We've got coming up Lisekazini.
Chilli
Okay,
boys.
I'm getting it.
Yes.
So we've got Orlando Pirates versus Chippa United. All the fixtures kicking off tomorrow night at 7:30, similar to this fixture as the Sundowns players warm up for the second half. We've also got Stellies, another favorite for those top three positions in the Betway Premiership against Golden Arrows. Good game, that. And Skakune United versus New Boys, Magesi.
Let me start with the Pirates one. I'm going to rattle a cage, as I usually do. I think Chippa is probably going to be one up on Pirates. They usually do know their number.
Usually. Last season, yes.
Yeah, last season, yeah.
And
Are you stirring the
somebody's
pot?
keeping quiet.
Stirring the pot.
But I did say, hey man,
Hey,
Len,
if they throw it at you, you need to catch it.
remember last week what I said, Len? I did say that I'm a bit worried of Chippa United and how Orlando Pirates always start slow in the league. So it's one game if I were to bet on, I wouldn't put my money on Orlando Pirates to win.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Because
You must bet, Chief.
Then it's a draw. A
Yeah, it's a
draw or a win for Orlando Pirates.
but you must bet.
Yeah, I will
That's
bet.
the point.
Yeah.
And looking at it, it's almost been so weird. Like you think the teams that have had games to run on while they were playing the MTN 8, you would have thought that they would have been like pushing already. Well, Sundown, Supersport, both of them have played, but
Well, Sundowns more than Supersport, but yes, continue.
fair point.
Yeah,
Yep.
Supersport only had one game, so
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
difficult for them as well. And Len, we could see in the first 5 minutes of the game that they took time to switch on. You know what I mean? So it boils down to number of games competitive games that they've played.
True. And you go back to looking at a Cape Town City on the weekend, you know, with the chairman playing, that was actually a very weird decision, but as call up.
Now I've made my conclusion, man.
Which is, by the way, let's hear.
5-a-side is there for people to play, man.
Yeah, like we play five-a-side, don't we? Yeah, so play five-a-side.
Yeah, play 5-a-side.
But as call up, we're not there.
Nah.
All I'm saying is like you had a Marumo that looked a tad bit enterprising.
We
gave
spoke
Chief-
about them earlier.
Yes, they gave Chiefs a game, but big ups to Kaizer Chiefs for winning that match. A winning Chiefs is good for the league, if we are being honest.
True.
Why are you sounding like me? Tell him that he's sounding like me.
He's a carbon copy of you now.
Yeah, no, like...
No, he's a carbon copy of me because he stole my mind over the weekend. But Askolab,
Listen to this guy.
but if we look at Sundowns now and the way they're going about it,
Do you have any subs? Marco?
No changes for the second half in the Tshwane derby as things continue as they were.
Of course.
We see now that, again, speaking of continuing as they were, Supersport United, once again, that midfield making it really packed and difficult to play through for Sundowns. And they are reverting back to playing the ball back to Ronwin Williams on a number of occasions once again. So playing in their own half largely, which makes the possession and pass accuracy stats very flattering and the number of passes very flattering for this fixture. They're up to 73% possession. Supersport United happy to let them have the ball, keep the legs under them, don't over push and press in that area of the pitch, and just stay solid in midfield and defense.
Is there any change, you guys, in the style of play, Yaga Rulani compared to Coach Mangoba? I'm asking all of you guys.
look, Sundowns have always been ball position based kind of side. It's
Like
in the
a spin.
marksmanship of archery, as it were, where
Use
they,
real English, friend.
Huh?
What's khoa se se re utlwang? Ga re bolela ka bo archery.
Akere marumo.
Bua.
They not like bullseye. And it was a case. We saw when they played the MTN 8 match against Polokwane City, created chances, could not hit the target. That's why they're out of the MTN 8.
They couldn't win even a single leg.
Exactly.
No.
But they
Nothing
well,
really
I suppose they were able to clip wings of
Swallows.
yes. But it's Mbabane Swallows. Come on.
Well, the other one is dead.
So
Well, it flew away.
opportunity for Sundowns and a good save from
Which also begs the question. And looking at how Ricardo Goss is actually performing in this match, because he's made some crucial saves.
Yeah, he's been a stellar performer from Supersport.
He stands out for me.
including Kenan Aye and Sipesi Slendov in the middle of the park. Yes, I'm loving that boy number 25. He's really good.
Yeah, you crush him
no,
hard.
Kevin knows how to pick them.
Yeah, not true.
And the ironic thing about it is that he's not even on the bench.
I mean, we had a chat about that. Yeah.
Oh, so am I picking your...
Hey man, you must come in,
No, I
man.
was saying that, but it's
So Ricardo Goss there once again with the save. I did mention earlier that if he's able to improve the distribution, because there's a couple opportunities for Supersport United there on the break when he does pick up the ball. If his distribution improves, it'll be a terrific performance from Ricardo Goss. I don't want to nail him too much for his distribution because he's looking for very difficult passes. Which haven't found the attacking man for Supersport United as yet for this game. As we see another medical treatment on the pitch, this seems to have been a theme for this fixture, Super Sub.
Definitely, and I'm surprised that the ref is just business as usual.
He's too lenient.
There have been like 11 fouls, and there haven't been a single card that was dished out, and there were quite a few. I think about 2 or 3 that were like, you know what, that's a yellow deserving foul, but. Nothing, but it just goes to show the point that I was making earlier, Marco, that Supersport are really, really good at absorbing the pressure that Mamelodi Sundowns is exerting at them, and it shows with the fouls that Mamelodi Sundowns have committed. That they are getting frustrated with how Supersport it's playing.
Absolutely.
I think it's testament to the quality of their performance is the physicality that
Who's the
Sundowns
doctor?
are finding
What's
themselves.
his... Wait, sorry?
No, DR is short for doctor.
That's what I'm asking.
But
Who is the doctor? Wait,
Not
I'll
Kumar.
find out. It's fine.
But anyway, we're not there.
Hey, man.
Hey, yeah.
Allow other kids, man,
Oh,
to get medical
can
attention.
we please?
Okay, cool.
I have a
So
fever.
is that why you hot?
I mean, I'm hot all the time.
Anyway,
Fred.
sorry.
You sound like a baller. You sound like a baller. Allende with a bit of showboating to return the ball back to Ricardo Goss as the referee stopped play for that medical treatment. And again, the distribution played
it's
long
Tabo
upfield.
Maleka.
Okay.
That's the doctor.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't DR supposed to be like his initials? Like, like you'll
Depends how many kits you've got. If you're able to supply enough kits
Oh,
across
true.
the season,
Fair
it's a
point.
higher cost to have initials for each thing. And once again, medical treatment. We haven't even stopped speaking about the last set of treatments and the colliding
Another
of
one.
heads. This time not caused by a Sundowns player. This is the colliding of heads between 2 Supersport United players. But they're going through the wars, it seems, in a game that seems overall quite friendly and not very fiery, Derby. A lot of medical treatment to Supersport United players.
Doctor.
One there, too, you look at this because it's the Sundowns home game, right? It's your first game of the season. You almost want to like make a statement because there's been so much criticism of you with the cup games that have taken place thus far outside of the Mbabane Swallows game. And like right now, you're looking at the Sundowns. It's not even a bench. It's like
The contingency.
the contingency.
Yeah.
And you see the
Hey, it
amount
looks
of
like
talent.
Chelsea.
Mbule, Mudau. Yeah, there's quality
Zwane
there.
Loach.
And you ask yourself, like, there's you look at the weekend game, right? You thought, okay, cool. Somebody like Mokwena was not played. against Swallows. Right? And you ask yourself, was it because he was being spared for this match?
Yes, he was arrested according to news.
No,
was
man.
rested.
There's an article that I read. Apparently, Coach Mangoba believes that there's a little bit of complacency with the senior members of the team.
But Mokoena is not a senior member of the team.
Mokoena.
Yes.
What is he?
Mokoena.
He's not I wouldn't call him senior. He just arrived the other day.
Mokoena.
Bozwani, Boshalulile
Okay,
were there before.
You're talking about senior players. He's a senior member of the squad, whether he arrived this season or not.
He has got more minutes than most players there. That's what makes him senior.
Oh, okay, cool. I was talking in terms of years at the club.
No. We're talking about players that are playing, that have been getting minutes week in, week out.
So is there a Rulani camp, do you think?
I think there is a little bit of that.
But that's not a way to be starting a new season.
Because you can see Sundowns looks very... It's not... They are enterprising here and there.
Can I make a bold statement?
Let's hear you.
Sure.
Please, that's a clip.
Sure, Rich. Be bold and beautiful.
Kaizer Chiefs is going to nibble Mamelodi Sundowns. Watch.
Shalolila crowded out in defense there, or by Supersport United's defense there,
That's
causing
obvious, my
him
friend.
to
It's so beautiful.
to have the foul.
Ooh, that is a bold statement.
Yeah? Watch.
Along.
We'll be here.
No, we'll be here. We actually need to be here.
It's in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, it's 2 weeks' time. I think it's on the 28th of September.
Yeah.
FNB, Chiefs versus Sundowns.
I've made my statement. Let's leave it there.
It's a bold one, eh?
Yeah, it's quite bold.
It's bold. It's very bold. But like...
Well, D-Dub seems to agree with you, Super Sub. He seconds you on that one. He fancies Chiefs to nibble Sundowns as well. Look, I think it's the only thing that can break down an absolute football machine like Sundowns is
Former football machine.
We're yet to see.
I'm not hating. I even went as far as to wear their jersey today.
Why is Chiefs a former football machine?
No, I said Sundowns is a former football machine.
Oh.
Not Chiefs.
Okay.
What I was saying is that the only thing that can break down a football machine like that is animosity within the squad and within the setup of the club. I think that really can tear down a football club quickly. But there's a lot of quality in this performance still. It might be a bit of a boring Tshwane derby and they're not terribly enterprising in the final third, but a lot of quality at this fixture. It's played at the pace of a little bit of a training game. You know, it feels like Sundowns are just practicing their attack versus defense rondos, you know, without really threatening goal too much. And
I think one person who I've seen being very busy has been Allende. With his...
We've been saying.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Hey, guys, can I go home?
Bye. Very quickly, guys. The Champions League league phase, Juventus coming out victorious 3-1 win against PSV, and Villa going home with 3-0 against Young Boys. The next matches
go right now.
are
There's a
just
9
now
o'clock
in 15 minutes.
There's a
it's
9
going to
o'clock
be-
kickoffs.
Yeah, Milan and Liverpool. We have Bayern and Zagreb, Madrid and Stuttgart from Germany, and Sporting CP and Lille from France.
So next week on the show, we're probably going to sit down and break down the new Champions League format.
Yeah.
But Askolapo, we are betwaying now.
Yeah, I've been studying it and now I think I can write
You
the
got
exam
it?
and pass. Yeah.
Okay,
Is it?
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
80%.
19
A+, Iphelaleyo, my friend.
Ikram Renas.
Hey.
And also, like him just slotting into the starting 11 at Sundowns.
Okay.
We see there's a change that's
so
coming.
we see Zwane
The
Yeah,
people that we were talking about.
Of
Yeah, no
course.
brain.
when you were not here.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
continue.
Can I go home?
It was in the comments there.
I mean, was he though?
Can I go home?
Lebo D-dope.
You know,
Lebo gift real G.
Gift real G, yeah. You need that creativity. You need the Zwanes. You
Oh,
need,
he did at the 10 there. Eh?
and this is not typical Sundowns.
Yeah. I want to see who is he going to sacrifice now.
Reynolds is going to go out definitely.
Reynolds
I would think Shalulile.
Shaluli as well.
has not had a good game.
But also in saying that, I was talking about how much impetus would be placed on, or how much of the responsibility rather would be placed on Ribeiro to be the creative asset for Sundowns before kickoff, and he's not seen a lot of the ball. So unless they're able to figure that out and allow players like Allende to find the number 10,
So the beauty
it's
about
going
it
to be
is,
still difficult for even Themba Zwane to come in and make an impact on this fixture.
the beauty about it is, and speaking about Themba Zwane, if you look at Supersport United, they're defending very deep, right? And that's adding to the frustration of how Sundowns is able to move the ball around. You need somebody with the creativity that Mshishi has
Of course, yeah.
to open up those little pockets and create the chances. But in creating those chances, Shalulile, Allende, Ribeiro,
You have to have somebody
Reynolds
to finish.
needs to make sure they are on point.
Yeah, you need somebody. That's what I'll say. When you came in, we were just talking about Renas and Shalulile, and I believe Renas, if we look at the past few games, Renas has been more clinical than Shalulile.
Shalulile has been shooting blanks for some time.
Yeah, no.
Does he have children?
TP. This is a family show.
Mina Twene, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. When are you guys hosting from the stadium during match day? That is something that we are looking to do during the course of this season. We're working on that. It's definitely an ambition of ours.
Not an ambition, we are going to do it.
It's certainly an ambition of ours. I will be less ambitious than Len Moleko in not saying it outright.
Matthews.
And then
His quality.
Kululeko
Sundowns has got
Chimele.
Yeah.
So far, there's no team better
Okay.
than Pirates
Well,
in the
not
Betway
surprised
Premiership.
there.
That's a bold statement. I don't think you biased at all with your
That's
Pirates
true,
logo
actually.
there.
That's true.
We've not even seen them in the Betway Premiership as yet.
I'm
They play
surprised-
tomorrow, their first game.
I'm surprised with Marcelo's sub, because Marcelo usually played very well with Zwane.
So we see Zwane, Matthews, and Modiba coming on to replace Shalulile.
So Zwane is gonna play deep now.
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna play deep, and then Modiba is gonna go on the left, and then
Matthews?
Matthews on the right for Shalulile.
Are we surprised to see Allende leave the pitch?
I am.
Me too.
Maybe it's the legs, but I mean, it's 60th minute. The boy can. Yeah, I don't know what.
Surely this stage of the season, you should be fresh enough to continue beyond this. So
I mean,
that's
he's played in how many games? MTN 8 quarters, semi, KEF, one match, about 4 or 5 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the legs should be there.
Wait.
Coach Mankoba taking a risk, and we saw his starting selection as we see an opportunity, and there's the
nice
first
one.
opening goal.
There we go.
The minute you put on Themba Zwane, things happen.
Yeah.
And there we go, a league debut for Sundowns debutant, ending in a goal. Would you look at that? Thoughts? I mean, he did the business for Stelli's last season, and that's why he came into Sundowns, and that is a goal for Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah, all the 217 fans are celebrating right now.
Straight after the substitutions, we spoke about Themba Zwane being the threat from the bench. We spoke about him every time, and look at that, he comes up with the
Just
key
that
pass.
genius pass.
But if you look
The
at the
key
trail
pass,
of
and then a
play,
very, very clever assist from Themba Zwane.
the trail of play, all the players that just got involved.
Have
Exactly.
influenced the goal.
Modiba with
Yep.
that little pass, and Themba
Must we take
Zwane.
over for Mangoba?
Well,
Because
clearly
we've
not.
been speaking about the influence that certain players that are not on the pitch will have if they are on the pitch.
Yeah, look, I think the approach from Coach Mangoba is, guys, there is still people out there that can do your job, and when you change, okay, what I'm trying to say is, like, if the aim was to try and motivate players that are regulars, it did not work.
Which is what he alluded to, correct?
Sort of, so now the guys that came on, they're like, okay, clearly they can't do it without us, So I think you just need to go with your trusted soldiers, in games like this.
Can I just also mention that Pule has been substituted, Moralo has taken over, and Rapuo there at the back has been replaced by, like you said, Super Sub Leke.
Yeah, I think I fancied Lake to come on. I mean,
But
he's a
Rapuo
tried and
really
tested.
did fight a good fight.
Yeah, he did, but I think now
It's that time.
And it's a thing whereby you look at the soldiers that, like, Sundowns players don't need to be, I'm of the belief that they don't need to be coached.
Oh, another one. This one. Dang.
They know football. They know how to go about business.
Yeah.
It's when you go about choosing an 11 that destabilizes
What they know.
what they know,
Yeah.
that makes you end up losing an MTN 8 semi-final.
Yeah.
Trying something new. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying something new, but if it's tried and tested, why change it?
Look, I mean, like, guys, it hasn't even been 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes, and the subs,
This is
look
like-
at what they've done.
This is the Sundowns that we know.
Precisely.
This is the Sundowns that we know, and they can break any defense. And
And it's mind-boggling then. Why would they start with the people they started with?
Punishment.
punishment.
Ah, guys, it's counterproductive.
Give me it. And
So it is indeed 2-0 to Sundowns.
In a space of how many minutes? 5.
That was a very, very silly mistake from Zukamanja.
yes.
Is it Zukamanja or it's Spesi Ndlovu?
And
Yeah,
if
it's
you look
Ndlovu.
at what
And he had-
Shishi did, he could have easily gone
And finished it
and
off, but he
finished that
allowed
off.
him to have that
He
goal.
allowed it to be
Yeah.
Tashreeq Matthews' goal.
Yeah. I
Also with
respect
the
that.
risk of an offside,
Exactly.
to be fair. So don't do the silly things and tap the ball in when there's no need.
But just that leadership, it's the first game of the season. Give him like the push, because he was bought for millions and millions of rands.
700 trillion.
Who's that?
Tashreeq Matthews.
Oh, but that's Ribeiro.
Oh,
It's
Ribeiro scored the
Ribeiro.
goal. Sorry, yes.
Yes, it's Ribeiro.
Ribeiro. He was bought
Also from, a lot of Muller.
for, yes, right? Just let him be. Like, he had chances in the first half. There was a beautiful save that was actually made by Ricardo Gos in the first half that I saw.
Yeah.
With Ribeiro's shot just outside the box by the D line, right? And for him to do that and score the goal, let him score the goal. You know, you are there as the creative person. You make things happen.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
And
agree
you are
with
the captain as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Bringing them on just changed the game completely.
Simple.
I don't know what Coach Mangobe was trying to do, but look, don't scratch where it's not itching. You're gonna have problems.
Don't scratch me.
Don't
it's
be
not
kind of
itchy.
who's the Germany coach?
The one that is always busy.
Let's not go there.
It's what
But I like the Sundowns in the second half
Way
with
better.
the subs that were made, because you can see the Sundowns football that Sundowns is renowned for.
No, definitely. And
Tapelo Prince, sorry, Super Sub, I love to hear it. Another goal from Sundowns or Supersport United, and I'll be 1,600 richer. Good call on calling the 2.5 overs and a Sundowns
You
win.
must come over for drinks.
Betway, where you get way more.
Super Sub, apologies, I interrupted you there.
oh yeah, I lost a trail of my thoughts. I'm sorry.
You were just basically saying what we have been saying the entire time. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix
Oh
it.
yes, of course. Yeah.
Simple.
And the comfortability that you see that Tembazwane has on the ball, the calmness, because with calmness comes creativity.
Time to think. Time to compose. Yep. Ooh.
Shots.
A lot.
Another
one. You see what I'm. You see what I'm. This is the Sundowns that we know.
Hlachwa, you're well done to
A
Hlachwa for that
terrific
one.
opportunity for Ribeiro to double his goal tally in this fixture. Well defended there.
He's an end.
He's a what?
He's wearing jersey number 10.
Yeah, the
You
experience
know
of
what?
such
You know,
are
you,
your
you,
played a
And
big part
elephant.
there.
yeah. Let's not go there.
Well done. Well done.
And absolutely terrific piece of defending from Sanoka.
His quality.
And
Hlatshwayo.
Hlatshwayo as well. That
Yeah.
clearance was dope because at 3-0, there's no way you're going to come back.
I still respect this man. I mean, he's been at it, eh? Hlatshwayo.
He's not Tyson for no reason.
Nah.
He will fight at the age of 50.
You got jokes today, Super Sub.
And the beauty about football, I always say that a 2-0 scoreline.
I'm burning.
Akira, I said you were hot.
No, like, I'm burning.
Okay.
Like,
What I hate about a 2-0 lead, right, is it's the most trickiest lead you can have in football.
A 1-0 lead is the trickiest lead you
No,
can have.
2-0 for me.
why do you say that?
Because at 2-0,
Another
you
sub?
feel comfortable, right? Then the opposition get a goal back.
Magidi.
Now suddenly, it's like, okay, anything can go anyway.
Another substitution for Supersport United as MacG comes on for Ocon. As they're looking to re-establish some sort of there seems to be a tactical change there as he gestures towards other players on the pitch. So it looks like Supersport United might be switching to it's looking like very much like a
But
4
Sundowns,
They are being
4-5-1.
ripped apart in the middle.
Sundowns is just making a meal.
I can read show off bona batho.
And an
Another chance
opportunity
missed.
missed. And the offside flag
Ribeiro.
stayed down. Ribeiro could easily have 3 in this fixture, could he not?
Yes. The
Easy.
save from the first half, the one that, he scored, and
goal
that
and this
chance
one here.
that just happened now.
Yeah.
If we had VAR, and that was given, if we had
clear
VAR in South African football,
Yeah.
that would have been disallowed for offside, I believe.
Matthew.
But
Please
Fun.
don't
It's
count
another
your
story.
eggs.
let's not go there.
No,
But
physical up.
look, this is, again, I'm going to go back to the conversation that we were having earlier on, in that this is the Sundowns that is Sundownsing versus the Sundowns that was not Sundownsing in the first half, because certain
Sound
personnel
upping.
were put up.
Sound F upping, actually.
Eh?
It was sound F upping, not downing.
That
Ooh,
one's
Take
an
time.
opportunity for Supersport United. And
In
it
this
was
half.
a
Goal, yeah.
very, very good opportunity there that just brushes by the woodwork.
And in the second half, what you would have noticed is that it was more Sundowns on the attack than Supersport United. Perhaps it's the influence of not having Coach Gavin on the sidelines.
I mean, I did mention something to that regard when I asked Wuti, is the absence of Gavin Hunt going to influence the goings and happenings of this match?
I'd argue against that. I think Tembazwane was just absolutely stellar in his involvement in the first goal, especially. And I think that you have to just commend a team when they're doing very well and not look for reasons why the opposition has scored in terms of your own failings, and rather just sometimes raise your hands up and say, well done.
Because at this rate, am I correct in saying that Sundowns is going back to where they left the last season?
Yeah. pretty much.
Currently, they will be top of the league
Yes.
as things stand. If they are to get a third, then they'll certainly be
No, nobody
top of the league.
won by
More than a goal.
By more
That's
than-
what I'm saying.
yes.
Yes. If as things stand, they will be top of the league.
Yes, because they didn't concede.
yes,
Chiefs won by
2-1.
2-1. So they won by a solitary goal, and that's why they're top of the league. They're actually
Supersport must score, man. I want Chiefs to stay on top. I'm loving the banter, man.
Look, a winning Kaiser Chiefs makes me feel happy. You know how happy I was on Sunday morning?
They
And
must
the
stop.
internet is interesting.
because
Well, we
Polokwane
must stop
City found themselves in the same advantageous position of a 2-1 victory. So
Very
their goal
more
difference of 1 is the same. But as things stand, you can look at the log. Mamelodi Sundowns on top of the league with a goal difference of 2. Kaiser Chiefs
Familiar
currently
territory.
only ahead of Polokwane City on name alone.
Williams has not been challenged in this half.
Yes, that's what I was referring to earlier
at
on.
all.
Yeah.
Look,
He's chilling very nice there.
he could be reading a book right now,
Yeah.
exclusively so.
now
Boo,
England
boo, boo,
lose.
boo.
Look, Supersport United look like they're
Supersport
playing.
losing the ball.
They
like
look
that.
like they're playing with a handbrake on.
I think they're playing against a team that's keeping hold of the ball. It's as simple as that.
Yes,
there's
but
very little you can do when
Yeah.
Sundowns have all of the possession, and then you have no feel for the ball. As soon as you get possession, it's difficult to find your flow before losing possession all over again. So,
And like I was saying earlier, sorry, Marco, maybe I
yeah,
interjected
please go
there.
ahead, Super Sub.
I was saying that once Mamelodi Sundowns scores the first goal, it's just gonna open up Supersport. You remember I was mentioning that it just gives, it's gonna be floodgates. It because Supersport now will be forced to play, because they've been sitting back and absorbing the pressure. There's nothing more to absorb. You can't sit back while you are trailing. What are you playing for? You know what I mean?
Fair point. And it looks like with them opening up and playing as opposed to absorbing the pressure, they now leaving themselves vulnerable to attacks. And that's why you see the moves and the passes that Atemba Zwane will make, Tashrik Matthews will make, Ribeiro being in spaces and stuff. So I think that first goal was very key in that it opened up Supersport United for them to start playing.
Yeah.
And in them starting to play, it opened them up
Even more.
to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And Sundowns is just like going to town with them, basically.
Yes. The quality of Mutiva and Zwane, man. Yes. I
And
don't
you
understand.
ask yourself, why were they not started?
That's what I'm saying. I hope he's learned his lesson, because he almost left it for too late. Had Supersport managed to keep this game, a lot of questions would have been asked. You know what I'm saying? You want to start the league with a win, like we were mentioning the
Especially in
previous
that
episode.
Tshwane derby.
Especially if it's a Tshwane derby and you are Mamelodi Sundowns, the reigning champion.
But at the end of the day, we can't overly criticize Coach Mankolba because he's getting the result that he wanted. At the end of the day, maybe
Definitely, a game,
maybe
it's 90
keeping
minutes.
maybe sometimes keeping your best players
For moments like
fresh
this.
for when you can see the energy levels of your opposition start to deplete.
Yeah.
Bring on your best players, allow them to get at them straight away when they're still finding their feet against those
I
players.
fully agree. It's another way of looking at it. Maybe we shouldn't criticize him. It was a game
Absolutely.
plan.
Absolutely.
Also, looking at it, right?
But sorry, Glenn.
why was Temba given a 1-year extension as opposed to more than that? And you can see the influence that he has,
Yes, on the game, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Geez, Coach Steve's
Coach
beard
Steve.
is getting grayer by the day.
Hey, football, it will kill you.
There isn't, and also what I've noticed, and Tsepi will allude to this from what she has noticed from what I do, reading body language. There's a level of being unassuming from the Sundowns bench versus last season, whereby the coach would be pacing up and down and being involved and looking and trying to change things and shouting on the sidelines. But now there's, I want to say, a level of calmness, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
Temba Zwane losing possession as it gives an opportunity. A
It's
great
Ronwen.
save from Ronwen Williams, who's putting his name into that hat for best goalkeeper in the world constantly. Time after time, you see this man stepping up for club and country. And, so far in this game, his main involvement has been in terms of that sweeper keeper role and distribution of the ball, making sure that Sundowns are able to keep ticking over in possession. But when he has to step up and make a big save, and look at the joy on his face after making that one. Corner kick to Supersport United as they flood the box with red shirts. It swings in to around the penalty spot and well cleared
But the
by
chairs,
the
are, still,
Sundowns
the chairs
defense.
are still blue, though.
The chairs are still blue, as we expect them to be for most of the season. Unfortunately for Sundowns, they can't achieve enough success to fill the stadium.
Hey, that boy.
And you know the beauty about Supersport United, what I'm seeing now, right, is cool, we're 2-0 down, but we're still going to bring the game to you.
Look, they have to, and Sundowns seemingly looking to have more bodies
Oh, gosh.
back. It looks like another change from the bench.
No, I think Ronwen is injured. from what I've just seen.
No, I don't believe so. I mean,
That could not have been off.
It was ever so slightly offside, but it doesn't matter. Ronwen gathered the ball, and it is a substitution as Reyners leaves the pitch for Sundowns. Good performance from him. Happy to get life going in a Sundowns
Obas.
shirt with a goal. And Obas is the player to to replace him.
And you look at, again, like you've got Batusi Obas on the bench. You had Zwane. You had Tashreeq Matthews. Understand the quality that Sundowns has on the bench.
No, definitely. I mean, players like Matthews haven't really been a starter, so it's like your impact players, you know. Even Obas hasn't really been a starter per se.
Because Boma Bowe have not really been playing regularly.
Yeah.
But
But I think it's a matter of their commitments to the cause, you know, that gets them that nod from the coach of, you know, of giving them an opportunity to say, you know what, you've been showing up at training and all of that, and probably they were being overlooked, if you can put it that way.
by the other guy.
Levido Loca,
I'm just
thanks for the update. AC Milan taking the lead against Liverpool. If you know anything about the Champions League,
Liverpool.
Let's
Liverpool.
not mention jammed over
Yeah,
the
that's
weekend.
not machine jammed. Yeah, you are right.
Poo, 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 poo.
Nice one, super sub. Yeah, no, it jammed him. It's not 3-3-3.
Nix. There's no jackpot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they went into the forest and got lost. But like, yeah, not working.
even Robin Hood couldn't get them out of that one.
Oh, nice one. But yeah, you can see. See, Andre Aronson has got like his initials on the thing.
Yes, because he's
He's
part of the main
he's assistant
coaching
coach.
staff. He's assistant coach.
Okay.
It doesn't get
I-
more
can
senior than that.
Can I
actually.
get a Betway shirt with like?
It's
That
coming.
says GP.
So there's only one way for you to get a Betway
Grandpa.
shirt, Len Moleko, and we're not going to brand it for you. That's out of the picture. But in terms of getting a Betway shirt, what you can do is simply take part in the 4-to-score free weekly prediction game. Head on over to the Betway app, where Betway are giving you a chance to win big with their 4-to-score free weekly prediction. Simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches, and you could win 50,000 Rand. Screenshot that, let us know, and you could have some merch and a 200 Rand top up into your account coming your way as well. It's as simple as that. Scan the QR code on your screen to enter right now. Get way more with Betway.
You know, I did that over the weekend. I got it right with Cape Town City,
Yes.
and then Chiefs dribbled me.
You said
Chiefs was gonna score first.
Oh,
That's how I lost.
Well, you've got an opportunity every week to score with 4.
Yeah, Pirates against Chipa.
Nah, I see a Pirates win still.
No, win.
But it's
First
who's
to
going to
score.
score first.
Yeah.
That's the key. So, fun game to take part in. Get your screenshots in so that we can hand out some prizes to some lucky winners.
Am I off season?
For
Because
that
I think
as
my
well.
predictions are just going haywire. This
Why are you acting surprised?
no, you haven't.
You had a strong
You
spell.
haven't,
Len
you haven't
Moleko.
been playing competitive betting in a while, so
Maybe you need to get
playing
in-
Aviator over the weekend.
that's the problem. Come back to football, my friend. We are back. Football is back.
Of course.
After 112 days.
But it's back.
Um,
Lise Kazini, guys.
forever. Supersport United having to take the game to Sundowns, who are prepared to slow it all down. When they do have possession, they simply slow the game down. Another foul, another free kick for Supersport United. It's been a game of fouls. Super Sub, are you surprised looking at the stats of this game? The thing that stands out for me is indeed that there are no cards distributed in the game to this point. No yellow cards, no red cards. There's been sufficient fouls to hand out at least one yellow card.
No,
Referees not gone to the pocket as yet.
Yes, and also, I mean, I think he's trying to keep the game flowing, you know, and I don't think beside those 2 or 3 fouls that we spoke about in the first half, I don't think there has been any untoward foul that deserves a yellow card.
No, the game has looked very
as an opportunity for Lodge to
Temminkosi,
join the game.
Lodge. It's again another quality player that's coming on for Sundowns. Like, do you understand
The depth.
the depth that Sundowns has?
Absolutely.
And for them actually not to be in the final of the MTN 8 is quite embarrassing, I would say.
It's a preseason tournament in some ways.
Sure,
That's no
Coach Peter.
excuse, though. no, but not for Sundowns.
Not for Sundowns,
No.
but well, look, it's a competition that generally eludes them.
Yeah, from back then.
Yes, they don't do very well in that competition. Look, they start in the league off with probably a 2 or 3-0 win. At the rate things are going, they might get another goal.
Could it be a strategic decision not to put too much effort in the MTN8?
Ah, no,
You
they
don't want
wanted
8
start?
it.
million.
They wanted it.
I'm
They wanted
asking.
it.
You don't want 8 million.
I
And
mean,
more so
I could
because
do
you
with
lost
8
it against
million.
the very same people that are in the final.
Again,
And
yes.
you know,
If it was strategic, they wouldn't have. They were supposed to.
Gone in as hard as they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
they were flaccid in the competition, basically.
They were not going hard.
Pretty much.
They were soft.
Yeah.
Eh.
But again, like what they did to Mbabane, what they're doing now to Supersport. Yes, Supersport did. They gave them a good game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but let's also be honest. I think we're singing their praises, and which is fair. But they had the same approach to the game, like with a team like Stellies or a Pirates or a Chiefs. I can tell you now, they would have gotten hiding. The
way they started the first half.
Yes. You know what I'm
The
saying?
second half, Sundowns can beat any team in the league.
Of course, of course. I
The
fully-
first half, Sundowns can lose
They would have
to Royal
conceded.
AM with Andile Mpisane playing at number 10.
I know.
Okay, now you're just getting too excited.
Never.
Give Chairman credit, Chief.
Ah,
He was taking corners.
nah, you see this Jesse, this Jesse needs to split it in half, divide it by 2 and go play there.
And another potential goal for Sundowns. No, man, for Supersport, Harry.
No, it was for Sundowns.
Was
actually.
it?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Sundowns. Again, Tembazwani being involved in the move. Very key player for Sundowns, for Bafana.
Sakanuka.
He's put in a shift, eh?
It's mind-boggling why, and I go back to asking why he is on a 1-year contract extension as opposed to more than a year.
But I did say, now what my
he's on a
thoughts
very
were.
high salary. He's 36.
Yeah.
It's 35, ne?
35
30
or 36.
Let's
Check.
double check and then I'll
Tippy
make my
will
But I
point.
mean, Mina, my reasoning behind it was that sometimes, especially number one is advanced age, but also you want to give him a 1-year contract so that he's not as complacent. He wants to still work hard for yet another year.
No.
And there's no guarantee that in the next 3 years he
we
might
had the
be at
likes
his
of
best.
We had the likes of your Zlatans, your Ronaldos.
This is South
at their
Africa, my friend.
age,
Yeah, so
putting
yeah,
in the
35,
shift that they
35.
do.
So when you are in that age in football terms, because remember Sundowns is still an entity. It's still an entity. You are a risk.
That's what I'm saying.
You know. So at 35, what you are on a very high salary, you get an injury. Then what?
Yeah, injury insurance
Like
is
I
probably
said.
more expensive for a
It's
player
even
of his
more
age as
expensive.
well.
So you go 1 year by 1 year, you're probably still gonna get another
keep him
year,
going.
depending on
Yeah.
how he is and his physicality and all of that.
But he's been showing up like Mshishi has been a
No,
key
it-
player
it-
since
Naturally,
has
we're not
nothing to-
disputing.
since Black Mpumalanga Black
It's not
Aces
taking
days.
any way away from
it
his
has
talent
nothing
and
to
his
do with his
abilities.
performance. You reach a certain age where you are a risk factor to an entity.
Purely from
Am I
the
a risk
books
factor?
in non-football
When
terms.
we must have a wheelchair here. One day we're gonna have to push you out.
Another great opportunity for Sundowns as the shot on goal is a bit tame. And Goss once again
And
able
if-
to gather easily. His distribution, however, is left
failing
wanting
him
once
again,
again.
giving position back to Sundowns. And if we're looking at it outside of the distribution, right? I think from his performance today, I would actually make him second choice to Ronwen if Ronwen is not available for
For
Bafana.
Bafana.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because he's today he's put in a very good shift.
And I think he's putting his hat into the ring for Bafana more and more so by getting regular first team football at Supersport United rather than staying at Sundowns and playing second fiddle to Ronway.
And you would remember that in the
fiddle.
MTN8 he got player of the match, man of the match for the Orlando Pirates.
Yes, he was
Supersport
key.
match indeed.
Yeah, I mean, losing and still being a man of the match.
That is something else, right?
It tells,
As a
it tells
goalkeeper,
volume.
tells you a lot. Yeah.
Facts.
But
Speaks
like
volumes.
on the balance of play, look, if Sundowns can maintain the second half Sundowns for the season, then definitely they are the team to beat. But if they play the season like they played the first half, then I think I'm worried about Sundowns.
I think a great decider.
I'm worried about Coach Mangoba and his decision making.
I will see. But Mina, I think a great decider is going to be what happens tomorrow. We have Orlando Pirates playing Chiba, the Chile Boys. We have Staley's also playing. So I think
Kukune is also playing tomorrow night.
Is it a cup
Kukune is also
competition?
playing. I think the match
Roll out Sun.
I think the
Pirates.
race only starts tomorrow. Then we start to see who really is who.
It's not a cup competition, so rule
Even
out,
so.
rule out Pirates.
Pirates, they'll honor the fixture.
Yeah, they'll honor the fixture. They'll be
At most they will avoid defeat.
draw somewhere there. Staley's definitely. I think they'll
Let's see what
most
happens
likely going
tomorrow.
to take. Staley's will take maximum
And I want to
points
see
from
all your
Golden
bet
Arrows.
slips, guys. Ne?
from Golden Arrows.
Alan
yes.
is no longer sharing, Tepi.
Eh?
Oh.
What?
You're
Share
no
your
longer
slip, my
sharing
dog.
bet slips.
I don't share bet slips.
Why, my dog?
I want to win alone.
What's wrong
Because
with
when
you?
I lose, I lose alone.
Greedy.
Yes. No. I don't share bet slips anymore. What I'll do, I'll give advice.
Oh,
so
so-
if you want advice for tomorrow, Staley's to win,
Yeah.
Pirates to draw, Sekukune to win.
Okay, so do you guys see the subs from Supersport and Glovo out? Bafago Umbango Som and Terence out. Matlangu has replaced him.
Yeah, look, I mean,
Those changes made
the
a
legs
couple
are
minutes
tired,
ago.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to deal with, let's see what the possession stats are now. 71% possession throughout the fixture. It's tough to keep up with that.
And also, Ndlovu is not a natural center midfield, you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, interesting thing that I actually found out earlier today.
Yeah.
Beautiful piece of skill by Ronwin Williams. Please go on.
Like the calmness of playing out from the back, being put under pressure, and the passes that you make in your box without panicking. That's beautiful to watch. Anyway, our resident goalkeeper friend is going to be a football analyst outside of doing marketing.
Itu.
I saw somebody saying we're gonna listen to Itu's great R English. You know, people. Like I'm like, what's the obsession with this this language that came here in?
It's not even ours.
Yeah, what's the obsession with
It's
this
about
language?
his knowledge that matters, right?
Exactly. Now I
Maybe
get
that's why we have
annoyed.
subtitles.
Maybe it's because I also have a great R English, but I got offended.
Who's your favorite South African football
friend, we're
analyst?
now Woma High School. Gadlal.
Okay, grade 7.
Wow.
Who's your favorite South African football analyst?
Favorite South African football analyst? Yeah, it's a difficult one, eh? I actually don't really.
Rate any of them.
No, not that. Just really don't think about them in that regard. I think Bongani Kumalo.
Kumali.
Yeah, I think he's good. Not dog.
You know who I like?
Dog. Hey.
Who do you
I
like?
like the Tupperware guy.
Kana Tupperware game?
Cheesecake.
Oh, Matthew Booth.
Oh, Matthew Booth.
Yeah.
Yours, Marco?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't watch analysis. I play
You play on the
Aviator.
Betway
I
app.
play remote hockey.
Oh, I thought you
If
played
there's-
Aviator.
If there's analysts on the TV, then I'm switching to whatever the game is on live.
Do you know who I've had the privilege of listening to and how they break down the game?
Tekomudise is one of them.
No.
I'm
For
talking-
you,
Yeah, for me,
yes.
yeah.
For me, it's one of the Betway squad members.
Man.
Lebogang Cheeseboy Mokwena.
Oh,
Is it?
cheese, our
He's-
boy.
cheese- The way he reads the game.
I've never really heard him speak, yes?
No. Like when you hear him on radio, because he's a Betway squad member.
Oh no, but he's not on any traditional media that
No, he's not. I think this weekend I think it was on Supersport, I saw who? Before the Chiefs game.
It was in Pillar.
I saw Katlego Mphela, yes.
Yeah.
I saw Killer. I can't
Saw
remember who
Matthew
else.
Booth for
It was
the-
Ace Manisa.
Opa
I saw
Manyesa as
Manyesa.
well, yes. So we're talking about the Betway squad members.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Hey, there's a lot of us now. Hey, it's so nice to
Let us
see.
go, man.
Yeah, let us go ahead.
And they are humble.
Yeah,
And let's
Hamba.
see-
It's
yeah.
moving. Yeah, no, you bet on it. It's moving. But like, yeah, I think Cheese is proper. The way Cheese analyzes the game.
You can't do that with not against Ron William.
So this game is staggering to a 2-0 win for Mamelodi Sundowns,
Top of the
which would
log.
leave them top of the log. A less surprising top of the log to the current
What does it
UEFA
echo when you
Champions
hit your
League
chest?
table.
Yeah?
What does it echo when
Because
you hit your
I've got
chest?
an empty heart.
Oh.
Aston Villa, top of the Champions League table.
Do you know with the Champions League? Ne? I'm in two minds about it.
I think we're gonna enjoy it, Len.
This new format.
I'm telling you, this new format, I think.
Nobody likes change, Len Moleku.
Yeah,
You'll
but
get used to it. Don't
we'll
worry.
get used to it, and I think we'll enjoy it. I'm telling you.
I think it's a good way to include more sides, and I think it's a good way to keep the tournament more exciting. I don't think it's great to see. I think it's great to see the teams play all of
Wasn't that
the
out?
other teams. More opportunity to see more different types of fixtures.
True, but I don't like the whole notion of not having home away.
Gav.
Well,
The-
you
the
do
girls
have
are
home,
fighting.
but I get what you're saying. Hey, finally, it's a derby.
That's more like it.
Although in
And
saying
then
that,
who's better to be involved than Tyson?
Of course,
Really?
he's punching right in. Look, Arsenal won.
Change is good.
That's all I care about.
And United won.
Who cares?
we'll get there. Their 6 points matter, but they don't matter too much. Still no cards. Oh, there's the first yellow card of the game.
you're lying.
Second
Wow.
of extra live.
As the game is about to end.
As the game is about to
I
end.
was convinced it
Other
didn't
guy
have
just
them.
got on even.
So he has the cards there. They're there.
It would have been interesting because as like maybe a trivia question of sorts, right? Which was the last Betway Premiership match? I will even call it Betway for all the other past seasons. It's fine. That ended without a card.
Yeah, no, it's not something that we actually look at. You know what? We're watching the game.
Liverpool equalized.
To even think.
Who cares about Liverpool?
I'm just putting it out there. Ballers want to know.
Many people care about Liverpool, and
You just wanted to slot them right in.
we're
right?
not strangers to seeing Liverpool equalize against AC Milan in the Champions League. As we reach the
Congratulations to
full-time
Mamelodi
whistle,
Sundowns.
Mamelodi Sundowns top of the Betway Premiership with a 2-0 win in the Tshwane Derby against Supersport United. More points for Sundowns once again. We expect them to go on and continue to do well this season.
What were your guys' predictions?
Nah, I said they were gonna lose, so
I think
I
I
lost.
said draw.
Okay, I said win for Sundowns. What would you say, Marco?
I actually said, if we go back into the thing, I said either a win for Sundowns or a draw. That would be the safer pick on a bet slip.
I went against the grain.
And
As you do.
to push up those odds, as we should do every once in a while, because these things do happen. It is football. And if you can push those odds into your favor, boy, oh boy, does it pay out big.
Did
For
we
those,
make our predictions for tomorrow's games before we get out of here?
let's make some
Oh,
predictions
yes.
for
Len
tomorrow's
can
games.
make the predictions.
Please,
So
Len,
everything I say, people must go against it.
against it. Yes, please.
Okay, Pirates to draw.
Yeah.
Pirates to draw against Chippa United.
Yes. Staleys to win.
Stellies to win against Golden Arrows.
And Sikukune United to beat Magesi.
I wouldn't argue with that. I'd go win or draw for Orlando Pirates at
Same here.
home.
Win or draw.
Stellies to win against Golden Arrows, and Skikune United to get a win with a 2.5 over even in that one, because the odds are going to be low across those three fixtures. And we want to win big with Betway.
I beg to differ. Emang, Orlando Pirates winning against Chili Boys.
Joe, did you hear how?
With my chest.
Confidence.
Yes, with my chest. So Kune winning. Lithonolo is back there against Magesi. And a win for Stellies.
So it was just the Pirates
Yeah.
that to be rectified.
Yes.
There. Danko.
Okay. Mara okusalayo kabuyelo.
Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. Well deserved. I think they come back. They came back second half with some fire.
The Man of the Match award is actually very cool. I must say, big ups to Betway, man.
Yeah, very
Love the
cool.
trophy for the Man of the Match award.
Remember what they say: less is more.
Lise Kazini.
Oh, I landed there to translate.
You are landed to translate. Just asking. But anyway, yeah, no. Ribeiro is obviously the man of the match. Big ups, he put in a shift. We saw that with the goal that he scored in the first half. He was showing up. And
chances also
and
he
big ups.
created.
Where's
scored in the second
Ribeiro
half,
from, Len?
South America somewhere. Isn't he from Venezuela?
He's from Brazil.
Is he from Brazil?
Is it not Venezuela?
Wait, I'll check now.
I think Lucas Ribeiro is from Venezuela.
Because I've got a question
He's
to
from
ask.
Brazil. He's
Is he
from
Brazilian?
Brazil, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you think he will ever make the Brazil squad?
Never.
But it's better than Anthony.
Will Anthony ever make that squad again?
But also speaking
I
about
think
Brazil
so.
in the international break, right? Like during the internationals,
Yeah.
do you know Brazil are currently not in line to qualify for the World Cup? Because I think they are 6th or 7th
Sure.
in the
They've
South
struggled.
American
Yeah.
qualifying thing. Because they lost, I think, 2 or 3 games in a row. And with talents like Vini and the Real Madrid bunch, they can't string a win together.
Yeah, there's been a shift there in football.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
in
of
South
politics
America.
in
There's a
Brazil.
lot of
Yeah.
politics involved. There's a lot of like ex-footballers
Intervening.
intervening. And not, is it intervene or interfering?
Interfering.
Yes.
Yes, because when you intervene, there's a fight.
Grade 7.
That's I got a dictionary right now.
But yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. Can't wait for tomorrow's games.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm excited about
nice
this bit.
couple of fixtures that are happening. And yeah, Lise Kazini, the Betway Premiership is here.
Okay, so
exciting.
that was match day 1 of the Betway Premiership. It continues once again tomorrow. The Tshwane Derby ends in favor of the Yellow Submarine, the Brazilians, the
Yellow
Mamelodi
Submarine,
Sundowns. Betway, of course, giving you the chance to win big with their 4 to score free weekly predictions. Remember to get your screenshots in on that, and you could win some merch and Betway top-ups with us here on ONSIDE ZA. But from me, Len Moleko, Tsepi Darling, and Super Sub. It is the end of our watch along. Remember to stay onside. Don't be offside. Be onside with us and Betway. Get way more.
Hi, hi, hi.